Tell me about revert.
That's coming back to the faith. It's coming back to the church. When you get to the point of saying revert, that word revert is like you're coming back to the Catholic faith for the conviction of truth that was taught, and you come to realize it was the truth that was being taught. It's a free gift from God through the grace of Jesus Christ that you're saved, you know. And that's what we teach in our church. It's no other way but through Christ that we're saved. I was going to various other non-denominationals. I've been to some of the ones with the raising arms and screaming in the aisleways and all that. But I prayed and I listened to my mother, and she said, "Son, God's trying to get your attention. Listen to Him." And you know what? My circumstances in my life, some were very hard. I went through a homeless period. I lost my stuff. She shook my rug 3 times out from under me and brought me to the place where I had to come to my knees and say, "Lord, where do you want me?" And I felt that strong come back to me. I came back to the church, but there was a powerful move within my spirit, within my heart to come back. And the biggest thing was the Eucharist, coming to receive Him, body, blood, soul, and divinity. This side of heaven, that's the closest you can get to Jesus. And we are a church of Jesus, not of do's and don'ts, these and thous, protocol. It's free, it's loving, it's excitement, it's a peace within a heart, it's meditating within your heart, it's from inside, it's not external. It's a peace that surpasses all understanding, only Jesus can give. Because there's going to be, He said, there's going to be trial and tribulation. It's going to be tough in this world. He said they persecuted you first, me first, before they ever persecuted you. You know, so the whole idea is like the fact that we're not alone. He's with us always. He says, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. I'm with you always, even to the end of time." We have to have a visible church to kind of keep us on that straight and narrow, because human weakness, being what we are, we can so easily stray. Even when we're in a church, we stray and we sin sometimes, we struggle. So, you know, the whole idea is to come together, witness to one another, love one another, share the love that only God can give, and not from our own agendas, our own, how we feel about it. Because feelings are emotions, they come and go. We have to have something solid. So the meat you talked about, solid, that's what comes from Christ. And that has to be buried in our heart. And that's the only way we'll function for His will, His purposes. But then again, as you asked the question, to be guided to the truth, not what we think we should be, or because we have good friends in this group, maybe He'll take you away from that group and put you in somewhere where you say, "God, Lord, what are you doing?"
If we're really doing what we should, I believe we are attending the church that God wants us to attend. And His steps, our steps are directed by Him in that regard. When I got old enough, I just drifted away entirely. Never stopped believing in God, but I didn't do anything for the most part for a good number of years. Went in the service. When I came out, there was a series of events that led me to a place where I knew something was missing. And I was at a friend's wedding at a church in Redford, and there was a tract that said, "Religious but not right with God." I was in the wedding, so we stayed for the photo shoot, and I grabbed this tract on the way out, and basically had to have the pastor of the church explain it to me later on. But long story short, I started down the path of evangelical Christianity. Obviously there's differences, lots of them, but I could go into the things that are having me believing I'm where I need to be, and have no plans in the near future to return to Catholicism. And that's the subject perhaps of what we can, discuss more.